So there was a video I saw on CNBC's Millennial Money where someone was making $58,000 and living in an RV. This to me sounds like someone is trying to reach financial freedom. And I always find these interesting because it seems like everyone is doing so many things to reach financial freedom. They're either camping in their car, they're roommating with a whole bunch of people, they're living with their parents. But in this case, the RV, I see a lot people are living. And I always wondered how they did it. So in this video, I want to share with you my comments, and you can comment as well to see exactly how we feel about this.
I remember I saved a lot at an early age, and I wrote down a specific goal to save 100K as soon as I could after graduation. I wanted the time freedom and the flexibility if something came up that I had the freedom to step away and take time off. Hi, I'm Carly D. Felice. I'm 38. I make $58,000 a year. I live full-time in an RV in Austin, Texas.
Now, everyone is talking about in Austin, Texas, how awesome it is. People are saying how much homes they're buying and the real estate over there is booming. There's a bunch of jobs. She is living in an RV. That I never heard of. I never heard of anyone living in an RV in Austin, Texas. Now, the $100,000 that she's trying to save, this to me seems very fire movement. It really does. I'm not going to be surprised if she comes out and she says she's basically trying to do fire, because it seems like that's exactly what this is about. Now, I'm amazed that she said at a young age, she set a goal out to save $100,000 as soon as she graduated. Most of us are not thinking about that at all. Most of us are thinking about just buying and just spending and just continually living in that cycle of just enjoying life. Some people have the discipline though, and that's why I love these videos, because it's motivating. They have the discipline though to say, I'm gonna save $100,000 and I'm gonna do it. I believe she did it. Let's see if she did.
My mom was balancing her checkbook when she went to labor. At the time, my mom and dad had a barbecue restaurant, and that was actually going under. And so I was born when there was financial chaos.
Now, shout out to her mom. That is a real G. Balancing a checkbook while you're delivering. And for people out there that don't understand what balancing a checkbook is, because I'm sure a lot of people don't even understand what that is pretty much, guys, taking your expenses and your income, subtracting the income with the expenses, what you have left is what you should have in your checking account. All times have changed. Now you log on to your account, it tells you your balance right there. You know exactly what's going on. But back in the days, guys, we had to write that out. Seeing a business go under at that early age and seeing financial stress has to be a huge burden, and that's probably the reason why she's trying to save $100,000. She probably seen some things growing up that is making her feel like, man, this is not a life that I want to live. This is a life that no one should live. And we all experienced that. We all did. We probably been through something in our life where we feel like we never want to do that again. My parents always struggled, and when I got older, I wanted to make sure I didn't struggle. So I'm seeing why now she possibly saved $100,000.
One of my friends was also a babysitter at the nursery, and I remember she said, I can't wait until my paycheck deposits. And at the time, it was completely a foreign idea that she actually would spend that money. The majority of the money that I made, I just kept. And I grew up, I played soccer, and so I reffed soccer games. So at the time, I would make $20 for an hour. And it was really important to me to have my own sense of money.
This just shows you right there how important financial education is. And I'm so happy that it's starting to teach that a lot now throughout high schools. I live in Florida, and in Florida, it's mandatory to graduate high school if you have a financial class where they're teaching you about personal finance. About time. Some of us had to learn the hard way. We had to learn through struggle and through real life scenarios how important money is, how to balance a checkbook, how to handle your bills. We had to learn that on our own. But a lot of people, they take the opposite route, okay? As she said, she was hanging out with her friend that was working with her, the babysitter. She takes her money, she spends it. She spent it all. And she was like, I cannot fathom doing that. And she saved it. She is someone that's truly special, because that is rare. A lot of people now with consumerism and being young and just want to look cool and spend all this money and just try to, appease people, to be able to say hell with all that and save your money, that's really commendable. But at the same time, you are a kid. I firmly feel like when you're a kid, you could just make all the mistakes that you want. Nothing that's drastic, of course. But when it comes to spending, just spend. Run up a little bit of credit here and there. I know that sounds wild, but just do those things that you want to do, because when you get older, you'll be able to pay it off. But that's only if you're responsible. If you know you're not responsible, then yeah, you don't want to mess with that. But when you're a kid, make those mistakes, blow it. Really, you don't have that much responsibilities where you feel like the money you spent is going to come back to haunt you. Now, first of all, I had to find out what a community manager is. You're making $58,000, so it seems like it's not that bad of a job. But from what I found out, is a community manager is someone that essentially helps people with, like, for example, WeWork, right? So a location where you could go and where you could work, like a virtual office. And her job, a community manager's job, is to talk to the clients, make them get acclimated, because once you're in those locations, from what I heard, it's like a community. So you all want to work together, networking events and things like that. I didn't know you get paid pretty decent, $58,000, but she does. And now spending $14,000 on an RV, that's a pretty good deal. From looking at the picture, it's not mobile. It looks like she has to probably have a car to lug it around, but that's a pretty good deal. $14,000 and you're trying to achieve what I'm assuming is fire. Well, she's trying to save $100,000, so obviously I'm thinking it's fire. That is not bad. That won't set her back as much. You can imagine nowadays having an apartment is like $2,000 a month, right? So then right there in 1 year, you're spending what, $24,000. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do the math real quick. You're spending $24,000 on living, and she's spending $14,000, and that's it. It's done. Yeah, she probably has to pay insurance and a few other fees, but that's it. So now her living expenses is probably extremely low, especially since she owns her RV straight up.
For me, I consistently have cost of living around $25,000, which is super low because I'm debt free and I live in an RV. So when creating my budget, I keep it super simple. I look at my fixed expenses versus my flex expenses. I take an average of what I spend on utilities, and then I have my health insurance, my car insurance, I have RV insurance. That's pretty much it. The main expense that I have with my RV is the lot. So the RV is paid in full itself, but I do have to pay to park it.
$25K for living expenses, that's pretty low. For a single person, that is really low. Now let's take a look at her expenses, because I find that extremely interesting. Now, first of all, I like the fact that she still saves. She still puts money in investments, and $1,000, that's pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's almost 30% of her gross income. So you could tell she's really keeping her expenses really low. The housing utilities, $792, that's not bad. Unexpected expenses, what is unexpected expenses? She has, it looks like she had like a bike repair and her car battery needs to get replaced. I love seeing these budgets because it looks like she put everything specifically for the month of September. So all the little things that happen, she's splitting it, because I see flight to FinCon. I like that. I've never been to FinCon. Next year, I want to go to FinCon. I believe they had it last year. It was in New Orleans, and I always want to go. It seems like a pretty cool place to learn about personal finance, and especially if you're doing YouTube videos or just want to get better with finance, it seems like a good place to go. I'm thinking about going next year. I think I heard this year's going to be in Atlanta. If it is, I'm definitely going. $400 in insurance. It seems like, is that car insurance? What kind of insurance is that? Oh, that's health, RV, and car. So it's not bad. That's everything. Entertainment and celebration. So she probably had a celebration that month. $214, not bad. $174 on food. Wow. That is super low. $174 on food shopping? This girl's really good with her money, because that's really, really low. That's like what, 50, 60, not even, that's less than that. That's probably like $45 a week. Wow, that's really low. On gas, $152, not bad, obviously. Health, $95, and household expenses, $88. So far, she looks to be managing everything pretty well and still have the opportunity to invest. That's the key right there.
The biggest thing is I have an emergency fund. My emergency savings, I have over a year's worth of expenses in the bank for a rainy day. So I call this system weekly cash. So I'd buy my necessities first, so groceries, gas for my car, and then whatever was left would be happy hours and hanging out with friends. It really takes the guesswork out of budgeting. It's just like, can I afford something? Can I buy this drink or whatever? Look at my wallet. If there's money there, I'll get it.
Shout out to Vanguard. Love Vanguard accounts. Those are the best accounts. So anyway, so it looks like, let me see what she got. So she's saving $25,000 she has in her savings account. So a year of expense. So man, she checked all the boxes. No debt, bought the RV straight up, putting money into investment, and she has a year, 1 year. I'm not sure how stable her job is, but 1 year of expenses saved. That is pretty cool. Now, also what I noticed is that her budget, I took a quick look at the amount, make sure I was right. But her budget, $120. Now that's interesting, the way she does it. She takes $120, she handles the groceries or whatever she has to handle, whatever's left she spends for herself. And that's it. So it's kind of like the cash envelope system. It really is, but it's a lot more simple. She's not paying all her bills through cash. She's taking out $120 and that's it. You gotta be really disciplined. And it seems like she is, because in the end, she still has money to celebrate, to hang out with her friends. She did say happy hour, so obviously she's making that money stretch. So she is doing all the right things. So another interesting thing as well is the average person spends $287 per week. She is way below that. Way below that. I mean, actually, she's doing half. So she is not just like, barely getting by and going below the average. She is killing the average.
FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. Basically, what you want to do is you want to build assets 25 times your annual living expenses. Then you can safely withdraw 4% and effectively live off of that for the rest of your life. So I reached Coast FIRE by 26 with a nest egg of over 100K. What that means is I could simply just let that money grow and work for me.
You see, exactly. What she was motivated on doing was the Coast FIRE, and she reached it at the age of 26. Now, to me, there's a caveat with this, okay? $100,000 doesn't seem like a lot. All right, if you're doing the 4% withdrawal, it doesn't seem like a lot. So she's keeping her budget really tight. And hey, listen, if that's a lifestyle she wants to live, and obviously she's proven that she's able to live that lifestyle, then that's great. But $100,000, 4% of that is what? Only $4,000? That seems like she needs to go a whole lot more higher than that. I thought she would possibly say $1 million, right? Because $1 million, 4% of $1 million is $40,000. But to each his own. She's making it happen. She's living in an RV. She's saving, continually saving. She's doing all the right things. So I don't think she's gonna have a problem. But me personally, my lifestyle creep, man, it happens, okay? The more money I get, the more things I want to get, but also everything in my life lifts up. The money I'm saving, that goes up. The amount of money I'm putting in investment, that goes up. The amount of my living, that goes up. Everything goes up. I do want to enjoy life. There's things I want to achieve in life and I want to enjoy. So just $100,000, but you know what? She did it at the age of 26 and she still put money into her account. So she has not stopped putting money into her Vanguard account. So she's not just stopping at 100,000 and doing nothing like so many other people do. Retiring at the age of 26 or 30, they're just coasting, acting like they'll do nothing else and just enjoy the money they have, which could run out. It could run out, and really, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? But in her case, I found it very fascinating, very interesting on how she did it. She don't seem to be super frugal. She seems to just do things what she's comfortable with and how she's comfortable with. She's single, so there's no one telling her what to do and how to do it. She has total control of her finances, and that I find really commendable.